Hello everyone, this is Inayat Mir with a new video installing and configuring Windows Server 2016 Nano Server. I am running a host computer on top of it. I do have my virtual servers. Currently I am on DC1. I am going to create a new folder on my root drive through the PowerShell. MD is a make a directory command, and the folder name is Nano, which is right in front of you. Now I am going to run another PowerShell command, and that will actually be used for a Nano Server image generator. So I am also adding commands on a side window, or I'm gonna have a pop-up where you can see the command. In case if you want to copy the command, you can pause and you can copy that command. So that is how I am going to use it. So currently we are using Windows Server 2016 operating system. In this command we need a DVD or ISO, which I already have placed into my DVD ROM. So you will see that we are going to copy the contents into the Nano folder. So this is the command: d:\nano server /nano server image generator ***ps** to c:\nano, and you see the result already. And this is my second command which I am running. To import module. Moving on, creating a virtual hard disk. So this will be a kind of long command. You see on the top of that, new Nano Server image minus edition standard minus media path. So you're gonna put the media path. You always can pause the video and copy the commands. And there could be a typo in case if you do not type it very carefully. Then command not gonna work. And that happens to everyone. That's not an issue. Just be careful. So this command, again, as I said, is used to create a virtual hard drive. So you can see some red writings on that. Don't worry, I will not let you watch every bad command. So I can pause the video, or I can eliminate those commands and then retype again. So we are using a password capital PA55W.RD for administrator. So now you can see the required virtual hard disk or VHD is available for the Nano Server. Normally you would now create a virtual machine to use Nano Server 1.vhdx file. However, to expedite the process, you will start a virtual machine that has already been created. That was a note from Microsoft, which I am actually giving it to you. So I am going to sign into my Nano Server, or the other end. I am logging into the Nano Server currently. This is just a pre-configured Nano Server, no domain membership, but we're gonna actually complete the post installation. Currently you don't see a domain, or there is no domain where you are able to log in. So simply you are looking into the Nano Server as a work group. Here you can see the options, you can use up arrow, down arrow, and enter key to read the details about the option on Nano Server screen. So this is a Nano Server recovery console, and we are looking at basic settings. So any setting you want to see, you can use an arrow on the keyboard, arrow key. You can scroll up, scroll down, hit enter. You will see your Ethernet and you will see your MAC address. You can see the IP address. So I'm gonna explore this all later on. Currently, look at just some basic options how you can play around, and we are going to join this anyway to the domain in future steps. You want to go out from this screen, you can always click on escape once or twice and you are back. So I am adding those notes as well in case sometimes some viewers have some audio issues. So I'm adding those notes within my screen. So now we are going to add Nano Server to the domain. We are going to use a domain join.exe command, djoin. So command is here, and where you see the adj blob.txt file as well. So I am also mentioning the IP address here. We are on a network 172.16.0.x network or .0 network, and you can see so what IP we are using on a Nano Server, which I produced 160. So you can see as well. Under networking, you can see the option. So DHCP enabled, but currently we are using 160.172.16.0.160. So I will be using this IP address for several times during this post installation process. You can continue. Again, as you see that the command is there and the IP is there what we are using on the Nano Server. And when you're gonna have a ApS session, you wanna go into that computer where you set up the $IP. So $IP of my Nano Server is 172.16.0.160. So whenever we represent minus computer name $IP, that means that we are going to communicate with 160 host, which is a Nano Server. So $IP, you can see is 160, and you're gonna use this several times whenever we use enter -ps session. Again, if you want to pause the video anytime, you can, and you can review these commands. So here you see that I'm going to enter a PS session for $IP, which is my Nano Server. So that is where I'm going in. So just look at these commands very carefully. These are little bit high level advanced commands and advanced topics which you are looking at right now. So as I said that we are using a capital P A55W dot or D password, which is changed from 2012 versions to 2016 versions. We are using now a net shell command to set up a firewall rules. we are enabling firewall rules. This command can be used on Windows Server 2012 or 2 or on previous versions. So once you want to go out from the PowerShell session, you can just type exit-ps session. So we just typed it on the pop-up window, and you can just go out with this command. Just type it. So the next should be a drive mapping. So we are going to map a Z drive, which will bring in all hidden share components from a remote server. So C as in Charlie dollar will actually bring in all files and folders from the root drive of the server, which is .0 dot, guess what, is 160 Nano Server. So we are going to map the whole C drive from Nano Server as a Z onto this server. So command completed successfully. So now we do have a Z drive. So we can copy now odj blob.txt file. Yeah, or just typo. Just fix the typo. It is copied. As you see that the enter PS session minus computer name, and that was set as $IP, and that is our Nano Server. So we are going to log in back to Nano Server as an administrator using a capital P A55, not a $, 55 W.RD password. So this will take us to that server as a session with that server. Okay, so now we can go back to the root of the prompt. And we can run this domain join command. And this is this should be a very familiar command to everyone from Windows Server 2012 up to. So we went through in previous videos several times with this process to join the domain. And then we need to reboot with a shutdown space /R. R is a reboot command, space /T. T is a time command. So how many seconds you want to give for the reboot. So if you hit 5, that's gonna give you 5 seconds, 10 give you 10 seconds. On the back end, you would see that a Nano Server should be rebooting within 5 seconds. So that was the process, because once it reboots, it is back now. It will be a part of the domain. So when you log in now, you can log in as an administrator. Again, but at this time we are able to type a domain name, and we are back into the Nano Server, looking at the configuration of the Nano Server. And this is a recovery console, a Nano Server recovery console. Under that, we are actually looking at network card settings. So we simply went into the recovery console using the arrows key on the keyboard and hitting enter on the network settings. So back to PowerShell again to our DC. So here this command get-windows feature will tell you what features we have installed and we do not have installed. You see a cross check, and that will tell you that which feature we have it. So what we are going to do here, we are installing a Windows feature on this server. So get dash will get the Windows feature, and this is the cross, or you see this small box will tell you what was installed or what is not installed. So we are going to look for a file server, fs-file server, which is not checked. So very clear that this is not installed. If you want to install, you got to use install dash Windows feature. No S, Windows feature, not features. Install dash Windows feature space fs-file server. Then where you want to install from this DC minus comp, that will point to computer name, and you have to mention what computer name you want to go to. It is a nano-svr1. Very straightforward, very simple. So from the DC, from the PowerShell, you went into the Nano server and you installed a feature. You can repeat that Windows feature command, and now at this time you should see that fs-file ser is checked, and it is checked, verified. So that is how you check. Now we're gonna have to again use a $IP command for the Nano server, which is 160, because you are going to have a PowerShell session. So you are now using enter-ps session again with a remote computer, where we are pointing out as a $IP, which is our Nano server. And credentials again same. So when you say $IP \administrator, that's mean whatever IP you mentioned under $IP in a previous command, for whichever IP, that is where you are going as an administrator from the PowerShell session. So you have to use a same password the way we used before. Capital P A55W.RD is the password. Once you hit enter here, because we are going to look at a network IP address through the PowerShell using a get-net IP address command, which I am pointing out right at the bottom of this screen. You can see where we are now in the IP, but this will give you the whole detail of the Nano server. And bcd edit space /enum is the other command which we are using from here. So make sure you see the whole detail on the top. Okay, this will give you more information about the bootloader and boot manager. And now we are going to use a net share command. And going out from the PowerShell. after looking at all shared folders, all hidden share folders, excuse me. So now we are done for Nano Server's post configuration setting and the network setting of Nano Server, and also we have installed additional roles. Now we're gonna look for some remote management. So we are on DC1 on a server manager, where you can go and add server from the network, because this is a domain member now. So you just simply on all servers you can find this server and add, click on OK. Now it will be online in a second. It is on online now, so you can see that we have a DC1, we have an SVR1, we have both servers available. So we're going to look for some info about a file and a storage services, where we are going to create a new share. That is how you can create a new share folder from Server Manager console. And this will be a default SMB quick option for this share. You click on here, new share, and we are going to choose a first default option, SMB share. And where you want to have this share, Nano Server 1 or SVR1. And what is the share name? So we can add a share name whatever you want to add, but for now, for the lab purposes, we're gonna add this share name data, and we will create. So by sitting on DC1, just keep in mind, by sitting on DC1 remotely, we added this server and we added a remote share on this server. We do not want to enable access-based enumeration at this time, so that is a different lab. So we are going to create, we are done. So now we are going to test a file server and the web server on Nano Server. That is next topic. So we are almost done with the lab. Few more commands to go through. So we are on DC1 under PowerShell, and we are going to use this command net use z /d deletes actually the drive. So we mapped Z drive, now we removed Z drive. We are going to map again C $. Success. Just gonna put a quick short code for a web page. So this is a HTML code. We can save under inetpub www root folder, and keep in mind we are saving this under Z drive. Z drive was just mapped from a Nano Server. So this is not your own DC1. So you are remotely saving this web code for a default web page under inetpub folder. That is where your web page goes. So we are going to make this one as a default.htm and save. And this will be a good visible page for the test purposes. We can close this notepad and we can test the URL by using a Nano Server's name. like HTTP from Explorer, colon / then the Nano server name, which is NANO-SVR1. That's supposed to play. That's supposed to show like this. You can see it is showing our Nano server website. Just the code executed. So now we're gonna use a command net use to map data folder as a Y drive, because Z was already used. So we are using a Y drive now. And it should be succeeded. Good. Now we got Y. We can type WRITE, write, from the command prompt. That will open up our WordPad. And in this WordPad you can type something if you want to, and you want to save this. And that should be listed whenever you save into your Y drive. That should be part of the Y drive. So that is how we went through these all steps. If you're gonna review these all steps once again, I believe that this will be a piece of cake, I would say, based on your previous experience. And I'm going to add a lot of more labs for Windows Server 2016, and I hope that this will be a very useful experience for everyone to look at new interface of this server and to look at the server and server commands. A lot of PowerShell we are going to use, but so far everything looks good here, and I hope you will like this video. And you always can use Explorer. I use Explorer to go everywhere, even the command panel, PowerShell and whatever. But so everything is right here. Just to finalize and finalizing words that thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for future videos, and I will see you in my next video. Have a nice time. This is Inayat Mir. Thank you. Bye.